Okay, Chris, so final spar done, week out from the fight with Spike O'Sullivan. How are you feeling?
Great. Last 12 round spar of the day, and everything went very smooth. It's been a great training camp. I'm on weight, and I'm ready to go in there and cause some destruction.
Were you surprised when you actually come face to face with him for the first time that he was a lot quieter than he was on social media?
I think everybody was surprised. The guy's been stalking me for about 3 years straight on Twitter, saying, calling me every name under the sun, saying every single thing he can to try and get under my skin. And then when we're finally in a room together, he's in a shell and he has nothing to say for himself. It's embarrassing. I actually felt quite sorry for him because he kind of realised what he actually got himself into. And now he's going to have to pay for his words on the 12th.
So it's another grudge match for you. Do you feel this is going to be a common trend throughout your career, that people are going to, I guess, look for fights similar to what Spike's done with yourself?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm a good guy. It just so happens that some of these guys just don't seem to like me very much. So because of that, I'm getting into these grudge matches, if that's what we want to call them. To be honest, I don't know the guy to have a grudge against him. All I know is he's obsessed with me. He's been talking about me for 3 years on Twitter, and he seems to be a fake, because when we're actually in a room together, he doesn't have anything to say. I guess these type of fights, the public want to see two fighters who have an opinion and maybe clash. If it's two guys who are just like, hey, good luck for the fight, I hope you do well, great training camp and everything like that. People don't really care about that. They want to see excitement. They want to see a bad guy and a good guy fight and see who wins. So I can only hope to have rivalries like this in my future bouts.
Definitely. I guess with your training, is it kind of giving you a bit of extra impetus, that the fact that he has kind of gone out and, like you say, sort of verbally trash talked to you for a couple of years? Has it made you kind of train with a bit more venom?
I think that does happen when you know somebody's been disrespectful. It makes you run that little extra mile. It makes you train that little extra, couple minutes after you're supposed to quit, or are you supposed to finish your session. Let me stay on the bag. Let me do a few extra push-ups because I'm going to get this guy. He's definitely lit a fire up inside of me. To really get me up for this fight, which is good. So, good for me. Not very bad for him, but great for me. So, but you guys are going to see everything that comes to light on the 12th. All the talk that he's done, he's not going to be able to back it up.
And reflecting back on the fight against Jets, it was quite apparent once you landed a couple of shots that he didn't really want to be in there. But taking that experience, boxing on Sky, you got a great reception in Sheffield, boxing in London, which is going to be a bit closer to home. You expecting much of the same?
I hope so, and if not, bring it on. If there's people in there that don't like me, good. I'm there to do a job. I'm there to climb this ladder towards becoming, one of the best middleweights in the division. And I'm sure my fans will be out there in their droves. So, I love my fans. They're great fans. I love my haters too. So hopefully they all come up.
And talking about the middleweight division, you've got Peter Quillen, Danny Jacobs are boxing on Saturday, which is going to be of interest to yourself, because should you, as expected, get through Spike O'Sullivan, you'll be in line to face the winner. So how do you see that fight going?
It's a close fight. Two solid fighters, two technically experienced, solid fighters. It's just going to come down to who wants it more. I can't really make a prediction. They're two quite similar fighters in my opinion. So we'll see what happens, but it doesn't matter to me who wins. At the end of the day, either one of them, I relish the chance to fight either one of them. So may the best man win.
Brilliant. And I guess in terms of going over to box the winner in America, you lived over there for some time. I'm sure you've got aspirations and goals to go and box over there, and box in front of the American public. You'd have no problem with that, I presume.
That's every boxer's dream to fight in a Madison Square Garden or an MGM Grand Casino. America is the hotspot for professional boxing. So at some stage, yes, I would like to go back out there and have my professional fights in front of American fans, and hopefully bring some of the British fans over to America. I know the Brits love flying over and supporting their guys, so hopefully I can muster up that support and go out there and take over a city.
How was that experience for you living in America? You were very young when you went over there with your brother. In terms of sort of learning your trade as a young boxer, what did you, I guess when you look at that experience inside and outside the ring, what's the biggest thing you learned about yourself?
I learned that nothing can ever break me. Everything that I experienced out there, everything that was thrown at me from a young age, I dealt with and I came through. A lot of kids would have been broken. They would have been disheartened. They would have gone back to England, back to their families, back to their comfort zones. For me, the harder it got, the more I bit down and toughed it out. And that's kind of when I knew, okay, this is what I want to do. This is who I can become. I can become a professional fighter because I'm in these gyms at a young age with these top fighters, sparring with them, training with them. I'm hanging in there, and nobody's going to stop me from getting to where I want to get to. So I'd say when it comes to America, Las Vegas, training with Mike McCallum and Floyd Mayweather Senior, that made me the fighter I am today.
And The Gloves Are Off is being aired Tuesday next week on Sky Sports 1 at 6:30, I believe. In terms of, without giving too much away, was Gary a bit more vocal in that than he was in the press conference?
Gary a bit more vocal, not at all. He embarrassed himself in that, even more so because he didn't have his trainer there to speak up for him, and he didn't have Frank Buglioni in the background clapping at every silly little thing he said. So when it was just me and him, he got put in his place big time. And you guys are going to see the fake that he really is when you see me and him sit down and talk. He's a pretender and he's in too deep.
And talking about his trainer Pascal, he said that him and Steve Collins have the blueprint for the Eubank. So do you read much into that, sort of based on history?
Not at all. We're two completely different fighters, two different men, two different eras. Gary O'Sullivan is not Steve Collins. So there is no blueprint. He's going to be punished for the things he's done. So.
I guess, Chris, just to sort of wrap up and finish, prediction for the fight, do you think it's going to hear the final bell next Saturday?
I'd be extremely surprised if he gets past the 8th round. But it depends on how he's going to fight. If he comes in there and runs, then he might be able to make it to the later rounds. If he comes in there and tries to use this amazing power that everybody's been talking about on his team, how he's been knocking all these guys out, he goes in there and tries to steamroll him, he's going to be walking onto big punches and he's going to get stopped early.
Chris, great stuff. Well, look, got action-packed week next week for all the fans, so it'll be a good opportunity for them to come down and see you in the flesh. Best of luck with the last couple of days you camp, and we'll catch up with you on fight night.
Appreciate it.
Good man. Thank you.